The golf industry thrives on selling you solutions to problems you don't actually have. Did you know that golf companies release new drivers every year claiming 10 to 15 more yards? Yet the average driving distance on the PGA Tour has only increased by about 30 yards in the last 40 years? Or that most amateur golfers would score better with 8 clubs instead of 14? In this video, I'll break down the top 10 myths in the golf industry, the marketing claims, conventional wisdom, and must-have products that are costing you money without improving your game. These aren't just minor misconceptions. They're the fundamental falsehoods that keep golfers frustrated and golf companies profitable. And the most shocking part? Some of these myths are actively promoted by the very instructors and club fitters who are supposed to be helping you improve. Myth number 10, you need the latest driver technology. Every year, major manufacturers release new drivers with bold claims about distance gains. TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, and others suggest their latest technology will add 10 to 15 yards to your drives. The reality? For most golfers, a driver from 5 to 7 years ago performs nearly identically to the latest models. Independent testing by MyGolfSpy and Golf Laboratories has consistently shown that year-over-year distance gains for new drivers average just 1 to 3 yards, not the 10-plus yards claimed in marketing materials. The USGA's distance report shows that despite constant innovation, the average driving distance on the PGA Tour increased by only about 30 yards over the past 40 years. Much of that due to player fitness, not equipment. What's really happening is that manufacturers have essentially maxed out what's possible under current USGA regulations. Since 1998, drivers have been limited to a coefficient of restitution, COR, of 0.83, meaning they can only return 83% of energy to the ball. Modern drivers have been at this limit for years. The truth is that proper fitting of an older driver will likely outperform an ill-fitted newer model. If you're playing a driver from the last 5 to 7 years that you hit reasonably well, save your money. The $550 you'd spend on a new driver would be better invested in lessons or a professional fitting of your current equipment. Myth number 9. More expensive balls perform better for everyone. Golf ball companies have convinced average golfers that they need to play the same $50 per dozen balls as tour professionals. Titleist Pro V1, TaylorMade TP5, and Callaway Chrome Soft dominate the premium market with promises of better performance for all golfers. The reality? For players with swing speeds under 95 miles per hour, which includes most recreational golfers, premium tour-level balls often perform worse than mid-priced alternatives. High-compression tour balls are designed for the elite players' faster swing speeds and spin profiles. Independent testing by Golf Laboratories has shown that golfers with moderate swing speeds, 85 to 95 miles per hour, typically get more distance and comparable short-game performance from mid-compression balls like the Titleist Tour Soft or Bridgestone E6, which cost $15 to $20 less per dozen. Even more revealing, multiple blind testing studies have shown that average golfers cannot consistently identify performance differences between premium and mid-range balls around the greens. The feel difference they perceive is largely psychological, influenced by knowing which ball they're hitting. The truth is that most amateurs would score better and save money by using balls matched to their swing characteristics rather than copying what pros use. A proper ball fitting based on your swing speed and spin needs will improve your game far more than simply buying the most expensive option. Myth number 8. You need 14 clubs in your bag. The rules of golf allow players to carry up to 14 clubs, and manufacturers have convinced golfers that they need to max out this limit with specialized clubs for every situation. The typical bag includes a driver, 3-wood, 5-wood or hybrid, 4 PW irons, gap wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge, and putter. However, research by golf statistician Mark Brody shows that most amateurs would actually score better with fewer clubs. His data indicates that recreational golfers rarely have the consistency to justify carrying multiple wedges with 4 to 6 degree gaps or long irons they hit essentially the same distance. In a revealing experiment, PGA Tour player Matt Kuchar once played around with just 8 clubs: driver, 4-wood, 6-iron, 8-iron, pitching wedge, sand, wedge, lob wedge, and putter, and shot 71, just 1 stroke higher than his average with a full set. For most amateurs, a simplified set of 8 to 10 clubs with larger gaps between them reduces decision-making complexity and encourages creativity, skills that actually lower scores more than having the perfect club for every yardage. The truth is that manufacturers promote specialized clubs to sell more products. not because most golfers need them. Unless you're a low handicap player with consistent distances throughout your bag, you'd likely benefit from a streamlined set with fewer redundancies. Myth number 7, alignment aids on putters. Improve accuracy. Nearly every modern putter features elaborate alignment aids, lines, dots, channels, and high-contrast colors designed to help golfers aim more accurately. Odyssey, Scotty Cameron, TaylorMade, and others market these features as essential for improved putting performance. However, multiple studies, including research by Dr. Robert Christina at the University of North Carolina, have found that alignment aids help only a small percentage of golfers. For many players, they actually increase aiming errors by creating optical illusions or encouraging overthinking. Eye-tracking research conducted at the Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine Center revealed that most golfers don't even look at alignment aids during their actual putting stroke. The study found that successful putters focus their eyes on a spot just behind the ball or on the intended starting line, not on the putter's alignment features. Even more telling, when Ping conducted blind testing with tour professionals using putters with and without alignment aids, they found no statistical difference in aiming accuracy. Many pros who use alignment aids in competition do so for confidence rather than measurable performance benefits. The truth is that the effectiveness of alignment aids is highly individual. Some golfers put better with a clean, distraction-free putter head, while others benefit from visual references. The key is finding what works for your visual processing style rather than assuming more alignment features are automatically better. If you're finding these industry myths eye-opening, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. I'm constantly exposing the marketing hype and sharing the real data that can save you money and actually improve your game. Drop a comment below telling me which golf product you think is the most overhyped, and I'll share my honest assessment. Now, let's continue busting more expensive myths that are hurting your golf game. Myth number 6. Distance is the key to lower scores. The golf industry has convinced players that hitting the ball farther is the surest path to lower scores. Driver marketing focuses almost exclusively on distance, and training aids promise to add yards to your game. However, comprehensive statistical analysis by Mark Braudy, creator of the strokes gained metric, shows that for amateur golfers, short game improvement yields 3 to 4 times more scoring benefit than equivalent improvements in driving distance. His data reveals that a 20-yard increase in driving distance, a significant gain, saves the average 90s shooter only about 1.5 strokes per round. By contrast, improving putting in short game by a similar percentage can save 4 to 6 strokes per round. Even more revealing, a study of over 50,000 amateur rounds by Arcus Golf found that players who focused on accuracy over distance scored better at every handicap level. Golfers who kept their drives in play, even at the cost of 15 to 20 yards, scored an average of 3.4 strokes better per round. The truth is that while professional golf has become increasingly distance-focused, amateur golf remains primarily a game of avoiding big mistakes. The industry promotes distance because it's marketable and measurable, not because it's the most effective path to lower scores for most players. Myth number 5. You need to release your wrist through impact. For decades, golf instruction has emphasized the importance of releasing the wrist through impact, actively rolling the forearms to square the club face. Countless training aids and instructional videos focus on this supposed fundamental. However, high-speed camera analysis of elite players tells a different story. Studies by Dr. Sasho McKenzie at St. Francis Xavier University have shown that the best ball strikers in the world don't actively release their wrists at all. The rotation seen after impact is a passive result of physics, not an active move. When TXG Golf conducted tests comparing active versus passive releases, they found that players attempting to manipulate the club face through impact showed significantly worse consistency in both direction and distance control. Even more convincingly, biomechanics research using EMG sensors to measure muscle activation has shown that elite players actually maintain relatively stable wrist positions through impact, with forearm muscles showing minimal activity during the critical milliseconds around ball contact. The truth is that a good golf swing creates enough speed and proper club path naturally, without needing conscious manipulation of the club face at impact. Most amateur golfers would benefit from focusing on setup and backswing positions rather than trying to time a perfect release. Myth number 4. Custom fitting benefits all golfers equally. The golf industry has successfully promoted the idea that every player, regardless of skill level, needs custom-fitted clubs. Major manufacturers and club fitting chains suggest that off-the-rack equipment is inadequate for anyone serious about improvement. While custom fitting certainly benefits better players, research by Golf Digest and independent testing facilities has consistently shown that high handicap golfers, 20 plus, see minimal performance differences between properly fitted clubs and standard options in their recommended flex range. A comprehensive study by Golf Laboratories found that players with inconsistent swing patterns, typical of higher handicappers, showed ball flight variations that overwhelmed the subtle benefits of custom specifications. In other words, their swing inconsistency was a much bigger factor than equipment optimization. Even more telling, when MyGolfSpy conducted blind testing with 25 handicap players using fitted versus standard clubs, the players couldn't identify which was which, and their performance metrics showed no statistically significant differences. The truth is that while better players, sub-15 handicaps, with consistent swing patterns benefit substantially from custom fitting, beginners and high handicappers should focus on developing basic consistency before investing in expensive fitting sessions. Basic recommendations based on height, strength, and swing speed will serve most recreational golfers adequately until their swing patterns stabilize. Myth number 3. Amateurs should swing like the pros. Golf instruction has long promoted the idea that amateur golfers should emulate the swings of tour professionals. Countless magazines, videos, and training systems promise to help recreational players swing like Brooks Koepka, Rory McIlroy, or Nelly Korda. The reality? Tour professionals are exceptional athletes with flexibility, strength, and coordination far beyond average golfers. More importantly, they practice 30 to 40 hours weekly, something no recreational player can match. Research by the Titleist Performance Institute has shown that successful golf swings must work with a player's physical capabilities, not against them. Their data from testing thousands of golfers reveals that forcing an amateur with limited mobility into a textbook swing pattern actually increases inconsistency and injury risk. Even tour players don't conform to a single model. Jim Furyk, Matthew Wolff, and Bubba Watson have unorthodox swings that would never be taught. Yet they've won major championships because their motions match their physical capabilities and produce consistent impact conditions. The truth is that recreational golfers should focus on developing a repeatable motion that delivers the club face consistently to the ball, even if that motion wouldn't appear in an instructional manual. Working with physical limitations rather than fighting them leads to better results for non-professional players. Myth number 2, green reading books and devices are game changers. The market for green reading aids has exploded in recent years with products like AimPoint, PuttView, and detailed green reading books promising to solve the mysteries of putting. These systems claim to turn putting into a precise science rather than an art. However, independent testing by multiple universities has found that the accuracy of even the most sophisticated green reading systems rarely exceeds 70 to 75% for breaking putts, and that's under controlled conditions with professional users. More revealing, when the PGA Tour restricted the use of detailed green books in 2022, putting statistics for tour players showed virtually no change. The best putters remained the best putters, suggesting that feel and experience trump technical information for most players. For amateurs, the situation is even clearer. A Stanford University study found that recreational golfers who relied on technical green reading systems took significantly longer to putt while showing no statistical improvement in accuracy compared to those using basic visual assessment. The truth is that while green reading aids can provide helpful general information, putting remains fundamentally a skill of touch, feel, and experience. Most amateurs would improve more quickly by practicing basic distance control than by investing in complex green reading systems. Myth number 1. New technology will fix your swing. The most pervasive myth in golf is that technology, whether it's the latest driver, a swing analyzer, or a training aid, can fundamentally fix swing flaws without the hard work of practice and proper instruction. Every year, golfers spend billions on products promising quick fixes and instant improvement. Launch monitors, swing analyzers, and smart clubs suggest they can diagnose and correct swing problems automatically. The reality: data from the National Golf Foundation shows that despite massive technological advances in equipment and training aids, the average handicap for American male golfers has remained virtually unchanged at around 16 for the past 40 years. When Golf Digest conducted a year-long study tracking players who invested in technology-based training versus those who took traditional lessons, they found that the technology group initially saw faster improvement but plateaued quickly. The traditional instruction group progressed more slowly at first, but achieved better long-term results. The truth is that while technology can provide valuable feedback and equipment can optimize performance, there is no substitute for developing proper fundamentals through practice and qualified instruction. The players who improve most consistently are those who use technology as a supplement to good coaching, not as a replacement. The golf industry thrives on selling solutions to problems that often don't exist or can't be solved through equipment alone. From the myth that you need this year's driver to the false promise that technology can fix your swing, these misconceptions cost golfers billions, while rarely delivering the improvement they seek. The most effective approach to better golf isn't buying into these industry myths, but focusing on fundamentals. Developing a repeatable swing, improving your short game, playing equipment that matches your abilities, and practicing with purpose. By understanding the reality behind these top 10 myths, you can make smarter decisions about where to invest your time and money, leading to actual improvement rather than endless cycles of purchasing the latest game-changing products. If you found these myth-busting insights valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm constantly exposing the marketing hype and sharing the real data that can actually improve your game. Drop a comment below telling me which golf myth surprised you the most, and I'll see you in the next video.